Assalamu alaikum class. Today's topic is support and protection. Have you all seen a puppet? When our hand is inside a glove puppet, the puppet can sit up straight, right? But without the hand, the puppet is floppy. It is shapeless, right? So, our hand supports the puppet like how a skeleton supports our body. Without our skeleton, we would not have any support. We would not be able to sit, stand, bend, run, or do everything what we do every day. Animals which have skeletons inside them are called vertebrates. All the different types of fish, birds, mammals, reptiles like snakes, crocodiles, amphibians like frogs, toads have skeletons inside them. So these animals are called vertebrates. Now vertebrates have bones inside them. Can we see our bones? No, we cannot see our bones. Our bones are inside. So vertebrates which have bones inside them form a skeleton which is called an endoskeleton. Endo means inside. Endoskeleton means a skeleton which is inside the body. Okay. Now some animals don't have skeletons inside them. Such animals are called invertebrates. For example, starfish, prawns, spider, snail, earthworm, jellyfish, crabs. Yes, these animals don't have skeletons inside them. However, some invertebrates have a hard covering on the outside of their bodies, and this is called an exoskeleton. Now, exo means outside. So, the skeleton which is outside the body is called an exoskeleton. For example, have you seen a snail? Yes, it has a hard shell outside its body which protects its body. Then a crab, lobster, grasshopper, even cockroaches. Yes, these all have exoskeletons which protect their soft inner bodies. What about worms? Have you all seen worms? Yes, you must have seen worms when you dig up the soil. These wriggly creatures, they are so soft and slimy, right? So, when they do not have any skeleton, what supports its body? They don't have any endoskeleton, nor do they have any exoskeleton. So, what do they have? Their body is made of sections full of watery liquid, which is called fluid, which helps the worm to keep its shape. Okay, so this type of skeleton is called a hydrostatic skeleton. Hydro means water. Okay, so this type of skeleton is a hydrostatic skeleton. It is the fluid or the water in the body of the earthworm which helps the worm to keep its shape, which helps it to move. What about the tortoise? What type of skeleton does this animal have? This animal is unique because it has an endoskeleton and an exoskeleton. The endoskeleton is inside the body of the tortoise, and the exoskeleton is outside. The hard shell on the tortoise is the exoskeleton. A skeleton helps to protect our body. It helps to protect the body from damage. For example, our rib cage protects our lungs and our heart. Similarly, snails are protected by a hard outer covering. A slug and a snail are similar animals. They belong to the same category. But the difference between both is that a slug has no protection from damage, but a snail has protection. It can go inside its shell and hide if it finds any danger. When an animal with an endoskeleton grows, its bones grow bigger too. For example, our bones grow along with our body. However, animals that have exoskeletons grow in a different way. They have hard outer coverings which stops the animal to get any bigger. Because of the outer covering, they are not able to grow bigger. They are stuck inside the outer covering. So how can they grow? Yes, so an animal that has an exoskeleton needs to get rid of its hard covering. It has to remove its hard covering before it can grow any bigger. This is called moulting. This process where the animal gets rid of or is able to remove its exoskeleton in order to grow is called moulting. In this picture we can see a scorpion moulting. You can see that the old skeleton has come out, which is the top endoskeleton, and now there's a new skeleton will come on top of its body. Let's see more about moulting. During moulting, the old skeleton splits apart, means it opens up, and the animals pull itself out of it. Okay, so they try to come out of the old skeleton. The animal now has a new exoskeleton that is very soft and has folds in it. Okay, previously, how was the exoskeleton? It was hard. Because it was hard, it was not able to grow. But now that the animal has removed the exoskeleton, the new exoskeleton is very soft. So at this point, when the animal has completely removed its old exoskeleton, the animal grows bigger. Only at this time the animal can grow bigger. And after a few hours, the new exoskeleton gets hard. So when it gets hard, there is no more growth. So the growth of the animal stops after the exoskeleton becomes hard. Okay? So what all have we learned today, students? That animals with skeletons inside them are called vertebrates. The animals without skeletons are called invertebrates. Animals support their bodies in three different ways. Some animals have endoskeletons, that is, a skeleton inside the body, for example, fish, lion, crocodile, etc. And some animals have an exoskeleton, which is outside the body, for example, crab, lobster, etc. Hydrostatic skeleton. Now, which animal has a hydrostatic skeleton? An earthworm. Okay, so an hydrostatic skeleton is a skeleton in which the body of the animal is filled with a fluid. A fluid is a watery substance. Okay, and animals with exoskeleton grow bigger during the process called as moulting. Only during moulting can the animals with exoskeleton grow bigger. Thank you, students. I will be sending you today's homework on the broadcast group. Please watch the video carefully once again and complete your homework.